again, I go back to the fact that this is my... I've gotten this process to stand up and speak on behalf of my constituents in the state of Missouri who are telling me night and day that they are worried, that they are afraid, that they feel disenfranchised. Somebody has got to speak for them, and it's my job to do that. That's why they elected me, and we can force a debate about what happened in this election, about what's going to happen in future elections. Congress won't take any action unless Congress is forced to, and that's what this is about.
Senator, I mentioned that Walmart apologized for that tweet, said it was from an employee that did not have authorization, but I wanted to give you a chance to respond to that. We talked about big tech. We talked about the different aspects of society that all seem to be rigged in the favor of one ideology. What's your response to the biggest corporation, one of the biggest corporations in this country, responding to you in this way?
Yeah, I'm not surprised. I mean, these big corporations, these multinationals, they are, first of all, they are all woke now. They all supported Joe Biden, and they all secretly look down on the people they supposedly serve. I was stunned by that tweet by Walmart. I mean, you talk about insulting, you talk about condescending. I look forward to them explaining that to the millions of people who shop there, by the way, including me and my family. So, you know, I mean, it's certainly an interesting choice on their part, and I imagine their customers will have something to say about it.
I want to give you a response again to address many of your critics. Many are saying this move by you on January 6th will be simply to set up your potential run for a 2024 candidacy for President of the United States. What do you say to those people?
That's ridiculous. I'm not running for president. I'm the senator from Missouri. I have a responsibility to speak on behalf of my constituents and to stand up and take a stand where I can. And I say again, this is the opportunity that I have to do it. By the way, the Democrats have done it before. They did it in 2004. They did it in 2016. And they were praised lavishly by the media, by Democratic leaders for making election integrity a point. And now when Republicans want to do it, we're called unpatriotic. We're called traitors. That's ridiculous. I'm going to stand and take this stance. I'm going to force this debate, and I hope that change will come because of it.
Senator Hawley, you've taken the lead in pushing the Republican Party in a very populist direction. You've taken the lead in calling for COVID relief checks to be increased from $600 to $2,000. I've asked several times, by the way, on various programs I've been on here at Fox News to try to get you, quite honestly, and Rand Paul, somebody who disagrees with you on increasing these checks, to sit down for a debate. Many Republicans are now pointing to it's time for a refocus on deficits and balancing the budget, that now is not the time to cut these checks, increase these checks to Americans. What would be your major point? What would be your major response to any Republican telling you those things? What would be your response to somebody like Rand Paul who disagrees with you?
To sit down for a debate.
Well, first of all, working people have borne the brunt of this pandemic. The shutdowns, being sent home back in March and April and May, they're the ones who have lost their jobs. They're the ones now who've got kids at home because of distance learning from COVID. They're missing their shifts. They've gotten their hours cut. They need help. It's government who put them in this position by shutting down the economy, by taking away their jobs. They need help. And I'll say this, for all the people who say we don't have the money, I noticed that we seem to have plenty of money when it came to bailing out Wall Street. That didn't seem to be a problem. I noticed that we seem to have plenty of money when it came to shipping money overseas. That didn't seem to be a problem. But now when working people need help, it's, oh heavens, we can't possibly do that. I suggest that the priorities are wrong. Working people should be first for COVID relief, not last.
I think that's absolutely true. I would love to see that debate, by the way, Senator Hawley, between you and Senator Paul. Hopefully we can make that happen in the future. But tonight, we thank you for stepping forward and explaining your plan to object to the certification of Joe Biden on January 6th. Thank you, Senator Josh Hawley.
Thank you.
A shroud of mystery surrounds Joe Biden's willingness to appease the far left, and it's defund the police agenda. But that could all change very soon, right after January 5th.
Anything we put forward in terms of the organizational structure to change policing, which I promise you will occur. Promise you.
insurance, so we only pay for what we need. It's pretty cool.
That is cool.
Very cool. Only pay for what you need.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
It's in your nature to reach for more. It's in our nature to make it cost less. WGU, the online university where ambition never rests.
Hey, I'm Zach, CEO of Roman. Some health issues are tough to talk about. With Roman, you can go online, chat with a physician, and if treatment is right for you, we'll ship genuine medication right to your door. Let's take care of it.
Now is the time for a new bath from Bathfitter. Every Bathfitter bath is installed quickly, safely, and beautifully with a lifetime warranty. Go from old to new, from worn to wow. The beautiful bath you've always wanted, done right, installed by one expert technician, all in one day. We've been creating moments like these for 35 years, and we're here to help you get started. Book your free virtual or in-home design consultation today.
Did you know that every single flush flings odors onto your soft surfaces? Then they get released back into the air, so you smell them later. Ew, right? That's why Febreze created Small Spaces. Press firmly and watch it get to work. Unlike the leading cone, Small Spaces continuously eliminates odors in the air and on surfaces, so they don't come back for 45 days. Just imagine what it can do with other odors.
I'm Doug Hirsch. You may already know that GoodRx can help you save up to 80% on your prescriptions. Unfortunately, many Americans can't get to a doctor right now. The good news is that for many health issues, you can see a doctor online. It's easy. Just go to GoodRx.com, and with a few clicks, you'll be treated by a licensed medical professional, all from the comfort of your own home. Visits are confidential and affordable. Need a prescription? Your doctor can send it to your pharmacy or have it mailed to you. Get the healthcare you deserve at GoodRx.com.
And with a few clicks, you'll be treated by
Nearly 110 million people were victims of cybercrime last year. There was a victim of identity theft.
Your doctor can send it to your pharmacy or have it mailed to you. Get the healthcare you deserve at GoodRx.com. You can save and with a few clicks, you'll be treated by
Nearly 110 million people were victims of cybercrime last year. There was a victim of identity theft.
Your doctor can send it to your pharmacy or have it mailed to you. Get the healthcare you deserve at GoodRx.com. And with a few clicks, you'll be treated by
Nearly 110 million people were victims of cybercrime last year. There was a victim of identity theft.
Your doctor can send it to your pharmacy or have it mailed to you. Get the healthcare you deserve at GoodRx.com.
He tweeted, "We're fighting in your memory, Tamir. You won't be forgotten. A system this cruel and inhumane can't be reformed." Soon.
Anything we put forward in terms of the organizational structure to change policing, which I promise you will occur. Promise you. Just think to yourself and give me advice whether we should do that before January 5th, because that's how they beat the living hell out of us across the country, saying that we're talking about defunding the police. I just raise it with you to think about. How much do we push between now about defunding the police. I just raised it with you to think about. How
Ocasio-Cortez said, I just think it's so exciting. They come leading and blazing their own shooter path and their own trail, but it certainly feels a little